Oh, yeah, brother. Sing it along. I mean, it's just another manic Monday. Oh, I'm glad it's not. No, I'm not glad it's not. Yep, and I see the red light's on, and we're live. That's right. Actually, now that we're live, it's actually more of a Allman Brothers. They call me Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Now, what did I tell you about 3 weeks ago? What did I tell you? Did I? I said everybody's like, remember, like 3 weeks ago, everybody's like, it's spring, everything. Everybody's like gardening, and cut top down, spring is here. Girls are on pedicure wearing flip-flops, Tourists are already out here riding buffaloes at Yellowstone Park, And, what did I say, Andy? What did I say? I said, and I will quote you, I'm quoting this, that what I said was, it will snow again before the 4th of July in Montana. I didn't say in Great Falls, I said in Montana. And here we are, Monday, June 17th. It's a little bit after 8 a.m. and it's cold, cloudy, rainy. It's going to be rainy for a while. Snowing in the mountains. Here comes that rainy day, feeling again. And then I don't know the lyrics, so I'll just stop. Okay. Hey, it's Monday. It's stormy. It's I was correctamundo. I know it's cold and snowing in parts of western Montana. My friends in Missoula just got a message from someone over there. It says, this message says, weather is crappy. Alrighty then. And crappy is like defined as weather in Montana before July 4th. Saturday. I know, it's snowing not Saturday, but snow today. It's Kalispell, Columbia Falls, Phillipsburg, up in the Sealy area. Saturday, though, it was like it came in out of nowhere. I was out on the back, la-di-da, getting some sun. All of a sudden, it was like just pouring. That was a thing to come. It was like, yeah, okay, it won't rain too bad. It was, So, yeah, don't panic just because we got snow in Columbia Falls and in the mountains, a little rain, okay, by tomorrow afternoon, okay, everything should be cleared up and tourists will resume riding buffaloes and wading through hot springs down in Yellowstone Park. They're already on the news. They're riding grizzly bears, trying to rope mountain goats. Sent a bunch of them out on a jackalope hunt. For those of you that don't know what jackalopes are, come on out to Montana. I'll show you. Get you a license. You can hunt some jackalopes. Jackalopes. Yeah, before we go any further, let's give a big shout out to our friends at the Great Falls. You got one prop here? You got a Great Falls Gazette prop? You do. Our friends at the Great Falls Gazette The following program is brought to you by Great Falls Gazette. Why? Because sooner or later, Andy, what's going to happen? Cue it. We're going to see our smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah. Cover of the Great Falls Gazette. You made it when you make it to the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Didn't they have Van Halen on the cover a couple of weeks ago? Big reunion thing. Yep. Well, it is June 17th. It is Monday. So let's go. Let's go. In the last... In the last month or so, Andy, we've had criminal justice rulings that have had people losing their minds. Both Republicans, because of the former president's rulings, and Democrats because of the president's son's rulings. And everybody's up in arms. They're like, oh my God, the criminal justice system, it's corrupt. It's weaponized. It's this, it's that, It's like, are you serious, people? You're just figuring this out? It's 2024 and you're just getting this now? Now we have a now we have a criminal justice system problem. Now we have one. We were marching against police brutality in the early 70s. Right, exactly. Everybody's like, oh my God, the police are doing this, the police are doing that, the justice system is going after this candidate, and it's all politically motivated. And you're all just getting this, right? They just are getting this. Again, it's 2024. We were marching in the early 70s, okay, against police. The same thing, the weaponized criminal justice system, the war on drugs, the war on the poor, the war on the homeless, the criminal justice is involved in all this, and we were marching, and you know why I doubt you heard about it? Because they gassed us and beat us up and told us to go home, tear gassed us, and we're like, oh yeah, quit quit police brutality, what's this? Tear gas, boom, 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 boom. 4 dead in Ohio. I mean, come on, man. Andy, should we beat the drum again? In case you haven't been listening to any of my podcasts, in case you're new to the show, we have more people locked up than any other country in the world. Okay, you claim about everybody's. Oh my God, we have the criminal justice system. It's corrupt. It's weaponized. We have more people locked up than any country in the world. That's including South Korea, North Korea, Russia, China, South Africa. You've seen South Africa? I think if I'd lived down in South Africa, I'd want to be locked up. But no, we have more people locked up than any other country in the world. Millions are incarcerated. It's the only category that America's now number one. We're not number one in health care, productivity, trade. We're not number one in any birth rate. Good one. Mortality rate. We're nothing. Number one in incarceration. There's more people incarcerated in this country any time in any country's history of the whole world, right here in the United States. Okay? And everybody's like, oh my God, the criminal justice system, it's corrupt, it's like one way, it's geared for the rich. Really? Again, it's 2024. No, my watch doesn't say that. I'm doing it for dramatic, theoretical effect. But down here on the computer, it certainly does say it's 2024, and everybody's like, oh my God, the criminal justice system is corrupt. They're just politically motivated and going after anybody. Yep, they sure are. You know, and what'd you say? Exactly. The mantra, though, on social media and Facebook, and you know that crime's out of a crow, and damn it, we need to lock more people up. Okay, lock them up. Okay. Unless, of course, it's a political right. Unless it's a political figure you may support, and we've got both sides going now. So, and I'm not picking on either one. All right? Neither. Okay? We got convictions, both. Okay? So, the people that are screaming, right, where do we put it? Exactly. So, the people that are screaming, lock everybody up, they're going to get tough on crime, lock more people up. How many do we incarcerate? We're already number one in the world. We're already number one in the history of mankind. The history of documented civilization, as it may be. So it seems that you want to criticize one side for targeting the other, but applaud one side for targeting the other. It's like it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either it's good or it's bad. Okay, it's not good for one and bad for the other. Okay, not too much chagrin. Right, like I said, it's 2024, you people. It's always been unbalanced. Okay, kind of a pay-as-you-play system. Right, pay-as-you-play system. Anybody who's been an addict or an alcoholic, anybody who's in recovery, and I'm not saying everybody, okay, but I'm saying a lot of people who are in recovery now, as myself, have experienced one or two nights in the pokey. Yeah. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Yeah, but I need $200. We got, you got cigarettes, top ramens. Come on. My point being, Andy, that the people that made bail, the people that had rich daddies, the people that had mom and dad were getting out on bail right away, and the poor people that were staying in jail where they end up in jail and prison. Okay, the prisons in America are not, generally speaking, full of rich people. Okay, most of the people in jail are not rich, white-collar criminals. Okay, no, you're right. Right, I'm not saying that rich people don't commit crimes. Okay, but you don't see the prisons full of them. If you can afford the good lawyers, if you can afford, proper representation, then you're good. But if you want to take a look at prisons, the prisons are full of people that had public defenders, people of color, addicts, mental health, It's almost like a throwaway place. That's why we lead the nation. We lead the world in incarceration. It's because we lock up everybody for everything. So, right. Money, exactly. Money buys. Really, money doesn't always buy. If you don't think, okay, if you don't think for a minute that money buys justice in America, United States of America, I have one thing and one thing only to say about that. O.J. Simpson. We haven't done a show on O.J. We should, and just detail the crime because he's as guilty as hell. But no, that's not a dig. That's a fact. But yeah, why do I say O.J. Simpson? If Hunter or Donald would have had the dream team, if the glove don't fit, you got to acquit. They'd walk. They'd have been out of there. Okay? I mean, oh yeah, but they're not, and for those of you that wonder, if everything that, yeah, the food, right, they didn't do it. Yeah, I love that one. The jail, what did Red say on the Shawshank? Only guilty person in the whole Shawshank prison. Yeah, the prison, exactly. Jails and prisons are full of innocent people. All you got to do is ask them. They'll tell you. I know it. They'll tell you. The criminal justice system, and it's targeting people, and it's corrupt. Seriously, you're just getting this? My God. My God, you're just figuring out that we have a problem with the criminal justice system. It's from top to bottom. Okay, from top to bottom. We know the courts are biased. We know that the Supreme Court. There's questions about. Some members of the Supreme Court justices, what should we do? Not acting justice-like? When, that's a whole different show, but that's an example. They're not acting justice-like. So there's a problem. We have political families. Being incarcerated, going through the system. Of course, we have people that, but top to bottom. It's not only the courts. It's like, right, we've militarized the police department on down. So now, example, throw it up. The one that we talked about, the National Bureau of Crime stats about 911 calls. Andy, throw it up. There it is. Okay. All right. Sending armed officers to 911 calls when often leads to unwanted and tragic consequences. And the reason I'm saying that first is because the National Bureau of Crime and Statistics, the United States government agency, reports right there that it's estimated that 80% nationwide of calls to 911 are not made because of violent or property-related offenses which would require physical intervention or jail. Okay? That indicates that, to me, that tells me that if there's 80% that don't involve that kind of thing, that they wouldn't cause jail or physical intervention, why would you send armed, uniformed officers? That would be my question in America. Why do we do that? Okay, they don't do it in a lot of other countries. They don't send a pack of officers. Okay, now, what the problem is this next statistics. A whopping 60% of those calls that they get, that they should have been there in the first place. That 80% were not going to be required physical intervention in jails. Well, 60% of those calls ended up with physical intervention, jail, or death. Okay? They see it in the news every week. Okay, every week it's in the news. It's all the time. Okay, they see it in the news, Andy. I'm not going to do in the statistics, but how in God's name would it happen like that, Andy? Okay, everybody's out there like, oh, geez, really? How could that happen? Okay, let me give you an example. Okay. Couple examples, okay? But minor incidents. And I've talked to a couple of my friends in law enforcement, and they're kind of before on the first one here, okay? And the first one was there. I have some strangers in the backyard, okay? It's a meth head. He's dressed. He jumped my fence, okay? And he's in the backyard. Messing with property, okay? Meth head's got short hair, maybe unkept, okay? I call the police, say there's a prowler in the backyard, I'm going to investigate. The police come, and they see two people in my backyard. One is the guy I just described, clothed, kind of short hair in the backyard. The other guy is a guy in his underwear with long hair, tattoos, and got a baseball bat going after the guy that's in the yard. Well, that's me. I'm the long-haired guy with tattoos with the bat chasing the meth head in my yard. Who do you think cops going to react to? I already know the answer because I've asked them. Who would you react to? The dress guy or the maniac wielding a baseball bat with tattoos? Not good enough, huh, Andy? Let me give you another example. Another minor incident. Okay? I call the police. They show up, weaponized at my house. 3 uniformed officers with guns or whatever show up at my house. I have a reactive dog. He protects the house. He don't care. If big guys in uniform showed up, my dog would not, for even 1 second, like that. Okay? Reactive dogs. Okay? Dogs that have been trained, or officers that have been trained to like deal with a situation like that, right? Dogs like at the door trying to get out, right? He gets out, guess what? How many times have I read that as a dog rescuer? Cop shoots dog. Cop shoots dog, I flip out, okay? Remember the guy on the other story with the baseball bat, with the tattoos and long hair in the backyard? Well, now my dog was shot. Now I'm reacting to the 3 uniformed, and I'm dead. Because I'm not going to say, oh, geez, officer, what an accident that was. No. So, would I call 911 in an incident that would be minor? That wasn't life and death, prowlers, anything like that. Just like many people, mainly of minority groups, I would not call emergency services, and they will not call emergency services because they fear that the first responders that will show up will be like 3 or 4 armed people in uniforms. Can you blame them? Okay? Do I have more examples of a weaponized criminal justice system? How about 1994? Andy's like, great. And it's 1994. The crime bill, though, went through, and which that allowed private principles, private prisons, like Corrections Corporation of America. You can buy their stock on the stock market. Okay, the private prisons, like Corrections Corporation of America, that owns prisons all around the United States. They're in addition. We have one or two in Montana, plus Deer Lodge, the state prison. Okay. Now, also in 1994, there was a bill passed where they have a quota. They have a quota. They have to keep them like almost at 100% occupied, and they can't take people from the state prisons. You know, it's like, we need some people. We're going to take some people from your state prison. So they got to keep the private prisons are a quota to keep them full. We already know the state prisons are, though. So the 19 private. How's that act working out for us anyway, Andy? Another reason we're the number one in incarceration in the world. And where do they fill them quotas from? I mean, how do those, if they can't take, how do they fill the quotas? How? What, do they send a memo out to your local law enforcement? Oh, I got a memo. We need a quota. They got a quota to meet. Let's go out and pick up some weed, water, whatever hard, didn't mow their lawns or something. Let's throw them in jail. What else happened? Why is criminal justice? Why? Oh, come on. How about mandatory minimums? That's the way that no matter who does what, they all get the same prison sentence. Doesn't matter what happened, doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You don't need a judge. You just need someone to rubber stamp the decision because you have a mandatory minimum. You don't need a judge. Okay? No parole. That works. Let's fill up the prisons. Don't let anybody out. And we still are putting people in there. They're convicting ex-presidents and presidents' sons of crimes in our courts. Okay? They don't have any rehabilitative services in. And once you get in locked up, you're just packed in like a sardine can. We're going to packed in here like a sardine can. We have some of the harshest drug laws in the freaking world. Okay? People want to get high. It's like, nope. Throw them on jail. I just want to do some mushrooms. Why is my Facebook feed full of mushroom gummies? Buy mushrooms. You want more? People right here in Great Falls, Montana. I see it on social media all the time. People viewing their First Amendment rights. I notice that people that agree with people First Amendment rights don't have a problem. If someone says something they don't like, then they have a problem with that person. Doesn't matter if it's the First Amendment, they just have a problem with it. Okay? They want to have people like lock them up. Lock them up. You really want people, your neighbors, to be locked up because they believe differently than you politically? Because they're homeless, alcoholic, mentally ill, you just want to lock it up. Lock them all up. I know, I find it ironic that people in their own communities are doing, Our presidential campaigns are lock our opponents up, lock them up, lock their supporters up for their viewpoints. And as you cheer them and say that, because both sides are saying it, they're like, lock up my opponents, you're like, yay, let's do it. And then you turn around and you're surprised when some of it happens and there's a problem with the criminal justice. It's like, come on, wait a minute. You're applauding their buffoons. Their buffoonery. How about this, people? I see it on social media all the time. People in my community, people that I know personally, the solution is not to lock your political neighbors up and their children up. Do better, okay? I hate it when I have to say this again. It's like, do better, people. You don't have to be like, I know, it's like the criminal justice system is just crazy. It's out of control. You're right, everybody, you're right. It is weaponized. It has been since the 1960s, okay? It's not new, all right? Don't act all surprised. That just annoys me, Annie. It's like, oh my God, the political system is corrupt. Really? Nixon. Nixon. All right. On that note, and yeah, we ran out of time. We have. Remember, people, come on, do better. Do better, everybody. Quit arguing. Quit arguing. Well, if we got along, it'd be a lot easier. Instead of like snipping at each other. Yeah, snip, snip, snippity, snip. Speaking of snip, snip, snippity, snip, spay and neuter, don't shop, rescue, volunteer, adopt a shelter pet today. Everybody stay warm, stay dry. We will see you next week. Until next week, have a good Monday, June 17th. We are out of here.